So my mindset had a shift from prioritizing big sales to big development.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Absolutely. Now, I have you talk about something really powerful, which is leadership. Because as the business grow, leadership, I believe, is a skill based. The more you
Yes.
practice, the better you become. It's like driving a car or swimming. You're not gonna learn it to the book. Yeah. In my opinion, there is no such a thing like, oh, this guy is born leader. Leaders, they don't burn. they they are done out of practice. It's a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. When I do this conference all over the world, you should see the people. Wow, Harry, this speech was amazing. How can you do that? And I'm telling the guys, I'm doing this. I have done this over 1,000 times. That's why it's good. Nothing is special. It just practice. So in the same way, scaling up is the type of you have to work uh, in your transition to become a greater leader. And people don't even, I didn't even know, when I started my first business, you have a product, you sell it, you're making some money, you raise your first million. Now I didn't know that scaling up, I had to become a leader, and I have to pass the leadership to my organization, because something that kind of happened by accident to me is that um, at some point in my own company, scaling up, a lot of people were coming to me to ask all my managers to ask me questions, how to do this, how to do that, and because of self-preservation, I put a sign in the office that told them, okay, don't come with the question if you don't have the solution.
Hmm.
Yeah. So look,
Love it.
because otherwise I have to. Otherwise, you guys, you are too many,
Yeah.
and you coming to ask me different things all the time that you know more than me, and you want me to give you the answer. So somehow, out of my own out of preservation and survival, they were coming with a problem, and then with three possible solutions, and they say, okay, which one do you think is better? To say, well, no, Harry, you choose. I said, no, you choose it. It doesn't matter what's the point, Harry choosing or you choosing. At the end of the day, if it doesn't work, we have to try something else. You
Yeah.
prepare the solution. You know more about the solution. What do you think that's going to work better? Because at the end of the day, you're implementing the solution. So they get to the point of that dynamic, to the point that I hit them in the office making jokes. Oh, don't go to ask anything to Harry. He's useless. Gonna get you to come on with your own solution. What's the point? Blah blah blah. They were laughing and making jokes about this. But at the end of the day, you know what happened? One day I arrived to the office and they told me, Harry, go home. We don't need you here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like shocked. I'm,
beautiful.
I'm like, you,
Beautiful.
you, you don't need guys paper for the photocopy. They tell you, no, we can get our own paper for the photocopy. Just go home. We don't need you. We don't need you anymore. We know how to grow this company. We know how to. It was a property business. We know how to acquire the client, the houses. We know how to sell it. You can come and in 1 hour. They will tell me. In fact, the problem is you because you had nothing to do. You come in and talk to us. Don't let us work. That's what my manager was telling me as a job. But the whole point is, without realizing, I passed I decided to give them more control to them, yeah, and without knowing, I turned them into leaders,
Yeah.
and this leadership grows so much that they feel that they can run it without me. That give them a bigger purpose to them, and after they achieve that, I didn't want to take it away. I was
Hmm.
actually happy that
Right.
this happened in this way, and by accident,
Harry,
I become a leader.
there's two things, and it's really about mindset of an owner. When you first begin, let's say your first 8 to 10 employees, you know exactly what they need to do. You hired them so they could do things for you. So you were making the majority of the decisions. These people were very good doing specific things for you in finance, sales, operations. But now you're at 20 to 25 people. And you need people to start making decisions when they're used to being doers, not deciders. And so, one of the biggest mind shifts I had to go through, we did all the major sales. Our name was on the door. And so, what we focused on is selling. The more we sold, the more the business grew. What I didn't do, I didn't know how to develop next generation A player leaders for a fairly large company, but I knew how to sell big accounts. So my mindset had a shift from prioritizing big sales to big development. And originally, I wasn't that great at it. So we went through a learning curve. If I focused on developing people, what would that job even look like? And it didn't mean that I never sold again. It just meant that I had to prioritize developing of the leadership team if I wanted to work on the company versus staying working in it. So those two
Mm-hmm.
things, be gentle with the original people that you hire because they were hired to do things. And then we say, snap, you have to lead things. And they're not used to having to make decisions. They're used to doing what you ask them to do. But once you shift, I think a big element of scaling up success is not just growing your sales or profit, it's scaling up your leadership team that enables the scaling up of your organization.
I agree 100%. And again, Heb, we none of us have been good at it at the beginning. Again,
No,
it's skill based. Somebody there is no we just need to learn. But look at you, right? You and it's a difficult decision, right? Because you can sell big accounts that brings a lot of money to the
yes,
company, and then you have to give that up in order to specialize in training and leadership, not only to start to embrace this in the culture of your organization, so the whole thing can work out in autopilot, so other people can also
yeah,
sell big accounts, and but now you have to again, that's the other thing as well. A lot of people, some a network marketing company, they talk to me. They're always telling, Harry, I need more leads in my organization. I need more leads in my organization. Okay, well, look, leaders attract leaders. In order to attract leaders to your organization, you have to become a leader yourself. So
yeah,
again, now, Herb, if you're gonna teach leadership and train the leaders in your organization, you need to become a leader yourself.
yeah,
And you just in a family business, and you're doing the sales. And
yeah.
no, now
So,
you have to become a leader and you have to touch move and inspire everybody in the organization. But you know what? This is what is required to scale.
yeah.
And as
Harry,
entrepreneur, we have to be flexible.
there's one thing though. So business owners, it's very important. I didn't do this overnight, just switch from selling to leading.
Absolutely,
It was
brother.
gradual. The business still needed certain things, sales, but gradually I moved over. And during that gradual period, I was able to develop a sales organization that could help do that. The second tip I would give every business owner, if you want to develop leaders in your company, simplest thing to do, start giving them leadership assignments. For example, let them lead a project, let them lead a committee. Don't just throw them into the fire and say, you're a leader now. Give them these small incremental opportunities where they can learn, they can get your feedback and coaching and mentoring internally. They can make mistakes and they will, but the simplest thing to do is start these leadership assignments early and often, start small, and the better they do, give them more and more responsibility with time.
100%. I give them some space because what you cannot pretend, like again, it's a skill base. The more you practice, the better you become. What we cannot pretend is to start to encourage the new leaders in our organization, and you want them to be perfect and be right and be good leaders from day one. It has to be done gradually because you have to allow time to um, you have to allow them time for them to gain the skill, right? And
Yes.
then you have to be there as support. This is what I did in my company. I was give them this, don't come to me, come with your own solution. Then they were making a joke. Now they're coming with their own solution. I allowed them to pick the solution. If it works, work. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Let's try again. So I give them the space, and little by little, they are warming up to the role. Little by little, they start to develop the skill. Because I think you see, all human beings you are capable to do everything. What all you need to do is give them training and support. We are all capable to gain any skill. Talent,
Yes.
no. Maybe we can, if I ask you, help, can you sing like Celine Dion? You might tell me, well, Harry, I need the talent for this. But gaining a skill, all human beings can. Everybody can drive, everybody can swim if they practice enough, and everybody can be a great leader if they practice enough. And we have to give them space to for them to practice and develop the skill. But
I
then,
think,
help, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just going to add, I think that was part of the journey with the programs that we've been innovating on, is because we've learned if the goal is to scale a company, scale the leadership team, then the objective is what program, what components would give you the best shot at doing that. And what I learned in this new program is education on the playbook, masterminding with peers in learning and sharing, facilitated planning where you're really updating and constantly looking at your go-to-market, and then having access to that coaching to fine-tune and to be very specific about using a tool, using a method at the right time in the right place over my 20-something year journey has been the culmination of when I put these ingredients together, I've seen leadership teams develop faster and be more productive because of that.
And then you see, and it's strange because people, when scaling up as an entrepreneur, we all think, well, we need to learn more about marketing, we need to learn more about sales, we need to learn more about accounting, and it's true, you need to learn more about all this. But what we are not aware is that we do have to learn a lot how to become a great leaders and how to develop leaders in our organization. That
Yeah.
is going to be a key point in order for you to scale sustainable and fast. So, Herb, if someone is in love with our conversation
Yes.
and want to know more about what you do, about how the process works, how can they find you? How this process works? Can you share it with us?
So simply go to my website, Aspire Growth Advisors with an S on the end.com. We have programs under programs. The program in the middle is the new innovative product that I hope people enjoy. I've enjoyed using it. And then thirdly, we have an assessment on the front of the web page, which is simply discover your scaling up readiness. So if I'm running a business, how ready am I truly to start scaling? And think of going to a doctor. You would never let a doctor give you a prescription before diagnosing where and why you were sick. Never let a business coach start operating on your company unless you really feel comfortable that they've diagnosed where your biggest ailments are to growing. And that discover your business readiness assessment will help you understand where you are today. And I'm happy to follow up with any of your listeners if they want to review their assessment. That's up to them. but it's complimentary to take a look and see where you're standing. And I just thank you so much for your time today, Harry.
Thank you so much, Herb. And that this conversation has been very, very valuable. I really recommend to all our audience to listen to it twice if you can, so you can learn more. And for all of you following this broadcast and follow us in Spotify, Apple, or our social media. See you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneur like her break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Thank you, Harry.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.